Hello, students. This is week 2. The learning for this week is on the barriers to critical thinking. Critical thinking is not just about criticizing other people's opinions and arguments. It's about being open minded to new ideas and then evaluating them thoughtfully to find the best possible solution. There are many factors that make critical thinking difficult, and these are known as the barriers to critical thinking. It's important to recognize these barriers. So, what are these barriers and how can they be overcome? The common barriers that prevent one from thinking more carefully include conformity, cultural beliefs, stereotypes, emotions, and biases. First, let's take a look at conformity. Conformity refers to behavior that complies with socially accepted norms and conventions. Conformity is necessary to a certain extent, but too much emphasis on conformity can lead to discounting of new ideas or points of view that are not as per established norms. This is how conformity inhibits critical thinking. Peer pressure, not being sure of the next course of action, and the fear of negative consequences are the main reasons for a tendency to conform. A critical thinker is an independent thinker and does not live on others' opinions. Your beliefs are your own and have been carefully thought about and ascertained. The next barrier, cultural beliefs. What is culture? Essentially, culture is the collection of beliefs, values, and behaviors acquired as a result of being a part of a particular group. And in terms of conformity, your culture provides you with a set of standards to which you can conform. Ethnocentrism. Oh, this is the belief that one's own culture is superior than others. This can be a significant barrier to critical thinking. If you understand how your culture shapes your perspective on issues, you can then think more critically about those issues. Similarly, learning about the differences between your culture and other cultures helps you understand different points of view. Generalization. A generalization is a broad statement describing a perceived trend about a particular group. When accurate, generalizations can be fair statements. But it's important to note that not all generalizations are accurate, and that even those that are will not apply to all individuals or in all instances. The most unreliable generalizations are on personal traits. This must be avoided. A stereotype. A stereotype makes an assumption about an individual or an entire group on the basis of a generalization that may not be accurate. Stereotypes are primarily judgmental and often have the effect of limiting or confining a person or a group to a particular image. The next barrier, emotions. Emotions can impact critical thinking in both positive and negative ways. Emotions impact many parts of life, including decision making and critical thinking. They have a positive effect when they cause you to think critically and inspire you to take action. Emotions usually play a role in making big life decisions like getting married or quitting a job. But even in these instances, critical thinking should also play a part. When you experience intense emotions, you are more likely to act rashly, misjudge a situation, rationalize illogical actions, and fail to consider all options. We all know that emotional reactions such as anger or disgust may keep us from asking questions or fact checking what we have seen or heard. The key is to recognize when you are in such a state of mind and to avoid making decisions at these times. You probably hold some beliefs to which you are emotionally committed, and this is completely normal. When you are deeply committed to a belief, critiques of it can feel like personal attacks. You must be aware of such emotional reactions. Why? So that you don't shut down when new evidence challenges your thinking. After all, you hold your beliefs to be true because they are true to the best of your knowledge. And if it turned out that your understanding of a situation could be improved, you would want to know more, right? Finally, bias. Bias is a preference for or an inclination against something that is based on your personal experiences and opinions rather than on evidence. It is the tendency to think in a certain way based on pre existing preferences. One of the most pervasive types of bias is confirmation bias. When you want something to be true, you tend to look for evidence that supports your perspective and totally ignore evidence that does not. Many people may not be aware that habits like getting all your news from a single channel, magazine, or website can lead to confirmation bias. What does this type of bias do? This type of bias can prevent you from reaching the truth, or at least from fairly evaluating the claim at stake, even when you think you are being objective. Dear students, this week we looked at the major barriers to critical thinking and how to avoid these barriers. I hope this is useful for you not only in this course but throughout life. Thank you.